Today I want to be showing and teaching you guys some of the stuff that I wish I knew when I first started Gorilla Tag. Like some tips that are pretty easy to understand but I just never did whenever I was new. But remember to practice these a lot because it doesn't take one day to be a pro. I mean, it took me like a month to actually learn how to wall climb, so. The first thing I wish I knew was how to actually run and move. And one of the most important things that you want when on the ground is unpredictable movement. Most new players will try to jump high and push hard on the ground to try and run away. But what you really want to do is move closer to the ground. You want to be parallel to really every surface that you're on in Gorilla Tag, which will help you move unpredictably as well. And when you're first starting, a good run that I recommend is either the funny run or the crab run. The funny run is a way more simple run than the crab run because it consists of you doing little motions with your hands on the ground, which will get you moving kind of fast like this. But the one that I use is called the crab run, which is where you move your hands like a crab. You use your right hand to sweep far forward like this and then pull back to your chest. And while your right hand is forward, your left hand would be kind of pushing off the ground like this. Then when your right hand is at your chest, your left one would also kind of be at your chest. So the full motion would look kind of like this. And it looks kind of weird in first person. As you can see, you can't really see where your left hand is, but you're going kind of like this, except sideways, but you're looking forward. And you can also tilt your head a little bit for like so you're closer to the ground. And when running, I also recommend having slight changes in movement so you can throw off anyone that's chasing you. So kind of like change directions randomly like this. And you want to focus on having smooth arm swings like this instead of going like rapid like that. Another really important skill that I should have learned is climbing. And not just wall climbing, I mean climbing everything. Like trees, walls, and basically anything in Gorilla Tag. But when you want to climb anything in Gorilla Tag, there's a ton of different methods that you can use that are really advanced. So I'll try and master pinch climbing before you move on to anything else, which is where you hug the object that you want to climb, then doing circles with both hands like this. So on the wall, it would look like this. Bro, why are the lights right there? After you can pinch climb on double walls pretty well, you can try it on different objects like trees and even walls. But pinch climbing is just a simple technique. A more advanced one would be bear climbing, which is where you have your hands flat on the surface that you're on. So if you're on a wall, you'd have them parallel like this. And it's kind of like you're running on the wall. You want to move your hands like this, where you do a half circle with your hands and then pull them straight down. So it would look kind of like this. And you can do this on basically every surface as well. And if you're doing it on a tree, that'll be a really fast way to get up. There are some better ways to climb, but this is just a way to get you used to climbing other things like walls and trees. Now we're gonna get into some more advanced skills, and the first one being climbing walls. The most simple way would be wall climbing, which is where you do swiping like motions on two corners of a wall to slowly get up. This one is pretty basic, but can be really hard when you're first starting. To practice this one, I would start by doing it slowly until you get the hang of it, like basically walking up the wall, and then start going faster and faster until you can do a bear climb like this. Another way to get up the wall will be wall running, which is where you start off with one hand on one side of the wall, going up and forward until you reach the end of this part of the wall. Then switch to your other hand and do the same thing until you reach the top. This one's a lot harder, and it's what most people struggle on learning. But there are many ways you can practice this to get better. And one main way is to use this sign and the gazebo. You can practice trying to keep yourself up and switching hands like this. And always remember when you're doing anything on the walls to be parallel. You want to be doing an oval with your hand like this, then pushing straight down on the wall. Another strategy that people use to climb the walls is doing a vertical or a Lucio run. And these methods are the ones that people use to get up the wall as fast as it can. A vertical is when you go straight up the wall, and a Lucio run is where you use two hands together to get up the wall before anybody else. But those are really advanced ways, and would take a new player a while to learn. But if you guys want a tutorial on those, let me know in the comments. Now I'm going to be teaching you guys a simple yet useful skill called branching. I'm not going to go into the advanced ways, just the ways that you kind of get you started with branching and that will help you if you're first starting. And the most simple way of branching is called free branching. It's where you go from branch to branch without having a specific route to follow. You basically just go wherever you want to go. And if you're free branching, I highly recommend learning the map, which is another skill that I'll get into later. But some more ways of branching will be to actually make routes, which is what every pro player or even average player does. You make a simple route to follow in situations if you're being chased. And while branching, you want to try and stay high above everyone else to have the best chance of not being tagged. But if you know where the branches are, then you can really go wherever you want. Which leads me into the next thing that'll help you even more with branching, which is to learn where all the branches are on every single tree, or at least one tree. Because if you didn't know, every single tree is the same. Some of them are just rotated and sized up more or down more. And if you learn where the branches are, you can branch way better because you always know where the next branch is. Arguably, one of the most important things to do in Gorilla Tag is learning the map. If you learn the map, you'll always know the best place to go in every situation. And a good way to learn the map is just playing the game. If you just take some time to play more, you will guaranteed get better. And something that helped me learn the map was going into private lobbies by myself and actually making routes. And not just branching routes. Routes that go around the whole map using the walls, trees, and even the ground. Being respectful and ethical is also another way of getting better. You might not think so, but if you're in a toxic lobby, it can ruin your mindset and even make you want to get off the game. Ethical gameplay can also enhance the game for everyone in the lobby as well. And if you're pretty good, then it'll inspire other players in the lobby to want to be as good as you. And that's everything that I have for this video. I hope these help you improve in Gorilla Tag. And if you found this helpful, consider subscribing and liking. If you have any other tips to share with other players, you can put them in the comments. And if you guys see a new player asking for help, go try to teach them. And anyways, I'll see you guys in other videos. Bye guys.
I keep her right on my side. I like the words out of mouth, seems to lighten my life. I'm connected to her heart like the moon and the tides. And besides, no one can take her up and out of my life. I think the words come together well, and that's no coincidence. Trying to be the best that I could be without no wishing it. Feeling like a plane trying to soar in the sky, but without you feel so hesitant.